Welcome back, you all, to another episode of Is It Shit? Today we're looking at a very weird thing. Audiohertz are back. Do you remember the guys that made the fan and also the thing that looked like the aircon unit from a Toyota or something? They're back with another plugin. It's the Audiohertz VHS. Let's find out. Is it? It's got to be said, doing this job, sometimes you look at a plugin and think, another one. This is going to be a waste of time. This is an excuse to put another saturator in a weird interface. You know, let's just get on with it. And then you start playing with it and you go, okay. You know, maybe there's something to this. This is one of those. I didn't approach it with much enthusiasm. I was significantly put off by the fact it looked like my dad's first ever VHS video recorder from 1981, which is because I think it might be. Yeah, this thing, VHS as they call it, is based on the audio from old VHS video recorders. And to the generation that isn't mine, that don't remember these things, everybody had one. All of a sudden, early 80s, everyone bought one of these. And then they stuck around until DVD players got invented and then they all disappeared. But for years, this is something we recorded TV shows on to watch them back. You also used to rent videos and watch films on them and all that kind of stuff. It was a big part of everybody's front room in the 80s. And this one, the one we're looking at the moment, is very reminiscent of the early ones where you press eject and the whole drawer goes, you know, very violent mechanism in these things. They used a very strange drum on an angle to get more and more footage basically onto a tape. It was about 1 inch? Can't remember now, video VHS. It was around the 1 inch mark, the tape in like a big plastic cassette thing. But yeah, the drum was pitched at an angle so that everything was recorded to it like a, I don't know, it was like a 45-degree angle going across the tape, which they found out gave them more room. Anyway, someone discovered, not immediately, but at some point, I remember reading, it might have been in Sound or something like that, someone discovered you could record audio to these things. In fact, I had a fairly decent Panasonic one that recorded really good audio in stereo, and I used it to try and master things 2 years ago, out of curiosity, really. It was a bit iffy, but it was interesting. At some point, Sony had something called the F1, which was a thing which went alongside one of their video recorders and did turn it into something which could record digital audio very well. Anyway, I've gone off on a tangent. I should stick to the plugin. So the VHS plugin is basically giving you all the facilities that you did or didn't want. You just got them anyway on a VHS video recorder, plus a few other things. So let's get into it. There's two models. Let's start with this one, which is the 1979 JVC. The other one is a 2001 Panasonic. Might look more familiar to those of you who just about remember. This is what they used to look like. 1979 JVC. So you've got your power button on the left. You've then got a preamp. You've got controls for wow, flutter, noise. There's a limiter and there's EQ, and then you can flip the tape between old and new. I mean, you could re-record on these tapes. So you'd record on something for the first time, first generation copy, it sounded all right. By the time you re-recorded EastEnders or whatever you were going to record in it 30 times, it was awful. But that's what we had to put up with. So they give you a bunch of controls, one as well as the on-off switches. You've got your preamp, your wow, your flutter, your noise, your threshold, release and make up for the limiter. As I say, the old and new switch. And then your EQ is under this flap here. It's a graphic EQ, goes 60, 120, 250, 500, 1K, 2K, 4K, 8K and 14K. Interesting, to say the least. Let's have a look at the other model. The other model is the 2001 Panasonic. A lot less tactile, which is strangely what they were. There was less buttons on them. So you've got your preamp on or off. You've got your gain control on these buttons here. You can flip the tape between old and new. There's a wow and flutter on and off. There's noise on and off, and there's EQ on and off, and that's your lot. It's a lot simpler, but it has a different sound. It is a slightly cleaner sound, I suppose you could say, if we're being very relative. Let's talk about what it's good for. Well, I approached it with what am I going to do with this thing? Turns out, as crap as it sounds, it doesn't half sound good when you put drums through it. Like, unbelievably good when you put drums through it. You can turn off the noise and the real horrible wow and flutter and all that stuff, and you can just use it as like a you know, the limiter side of it with some EQ, the preamp, it's like a limiter with analog saturation. It's pretty damn awesome. So yeah, if you want a very, very interesting drum sound, this is good for that. It will really do some good stuff with that. Parallel drum bus duties, I guess. Not bad for bass. The saturation can get too much too quick. But it's useful. You've just got to dig into it a bit. And obviously the most obvious use for it, apart from all the abuse we're going to give it running things that shouldn't be run through it, if you're doing anything at all where you need to edit a video and have the sound of an old analog VHS machine, this is a pretty good place to start. Obviously, and there's probably quite a lot of that stuff. So yeah, I'm sort of changed my mind about it once I started playing with it. The dry wet control is obviously useful because it can do some pretty disastrous things to audio, which sound better sometimes when it's only maybe 20 or 30% of the signal rather than all of it. But yeah, it's quite interesting. It looks quite cool. Let's talk about demo. Demo's quite disappointing, not because it's not existent. It's a demo and it lasts as long as you want, but there is silence in the demo randomly, and as you'll see in the demo at the end of this, oh my god, it drove me mad. The silence is too long. It's like, I don't know if it's like 2 seconds or something. It drove me mad. You can't really get a proper feel for it because it just keeps going off. That drives me insane. You've just got to fix it. You do it with all your plugins, Audiohertz. It's annoying. Try and sort it out. Price wise, it's $59, which I don't know how to judge it really. There's nothing really like it out there. It's a saturator at the end of the day with some EQ and some tape artifacts. I guess that's the best way to look at it. It's not a terrible price. I think maybe if it was under $50 it would be better. But yeah, it does what you would expect it to do. Star rating, I'm going to go 3 stars because I think the interface is pretty cool. It looks pretty nice. The price could be lower. It's all right. Are you going to use it? It might be one of those things. If you're restoring, using some old TV clips and you want it to sound legit, yeah, this might be quite useful. If you're not doing that, and once you've got bored of using it on your drums a couple of times, it might sit in your plugin folder for a few years doing nothing. It's one of those. Anyway, 3 stars, not shit. You might enjoy it for a bit. Watch the demo and find out. Anyway, that's all for now. If you could like the video, that really helps. If you could subscribe to the channel, that helps even more. There's 2 Instagram accounts. There's Studio Life 101 for the channel, and there's Mixdown Mastering for all my mixing and mastering stuff. There's the website with the top 5 plugins. There's also the courses on mixing and mastering and compression and a whole bunch of other stuff online. And I will see you next time. Adios, mofos.